quite a while ago, the members of the House of Representatives, who were or are, no, they would have been, yes, Congressional Human Rights Caucus, as of the date of the adoption of the resolution, shall be deemed to have joined the commission. Yes, two members of the House of Representatives who are co-chairs of the Congressional, yes, Human Rights Caucus. Yeah. Now you changed the name of it, right? And then you changed, quite a few different things. Yeah. Now, to promulgate the best practices for whistleblower intake for the offices of the House. Yes. Now, when I read this, it implies that every time somebody's elected to the House of Representatives, you are given a copy of the best practices of what it means to be a whistleblower. Yes. That's the way it looks to me. Yes. And then you are provided training for the offices of the House on whistleblower intake. Yes. Including establishing an effective reporting system for whistleblowers. Yes. Maintaining whistleblower confidentiality. Advising staff of relative laws and policies and protecting information provided by the whistleblowers. Yes. Now, I'd just like to know this promulgation of the best practices. Yes. Could you get me every member of your offices in the House of Representatives? Because when I read this, it would be very difficult to be employed in the House of Representatives, yes, without knowing the promulgation of the best practices for those that expose waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement. In fact, if you have the evidence and you are an oath of office in the House of Representatives, you are personally liable to disclose that evidence. Now, for those of you elected to office in the House of Representatives that don't think that I have the right to sue you, yes, the information that I'm being provided is that you were given the promulgation of the best practices to expose any waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement of any and all federal programs. And when you yourselves, oh, why don't you get me all the provided training, yes, for the offices of the House on whistleblower intake, including establishing the effective reporting system, yes, for those that disclose. A whistleblower is just a slang way of saying the disclosing of any evidence of waste, fraud. Yes, it is. Slang way of saying it. Waste, fraud, abuse of office, Kilmer, and the mismanagement of the United States Congress. Now, if you get this in the House of Representatives, yes, I would have thought that those in the Senate would also have been given the actual documentation when you became employees of the United States Congress. Now, you thought, well, I'm not liable for what I did swear when I was sworn in. And then you said, well, I am not liable for any state refusing right now. Now, this is the Model Ombudsman Act for state governments. Oh my gosh, look at that. I found out that King County has an ombudsman. Yes. In fact, there are quite a few states. Yes. And when I emailed the Seattle Police Department, isn't your Seattle Police Department in the actual county of King? Yes. Now, let's say that you as a police department would not enforce forgery laws. No, you wouldn't enforce false. You wouldn't do it. Isn't that right, Chief of Police? Yes. I included the Seattle Municipal Code in what would have been approximately 200,000 emails. And the King County Ombudsman that has knowledge of your refusal to enforce the municipal code because of your refusal to enforce Washington state law is now personally liable to make sure that you do everything as it says. See, we can't have police departments misprisioning the felonies of other police departments. Right. We can't have sheriff's departments misprisioning the refusal to write complaints. Now, just looking at the authority of the United States Ombudsman, they they're kind of interesting. Yes. See, they modeled this after the American Bar Association as an excellent document. Could you get me every attorney that was admitted to practice law in the ABA for the last 50 years? Now, most of them are attorney oaths. Yes, yes, they are. Now, since they use the ABA model for their basic reference, yes, they made a couple little changes to it. Updating, clarifying language, gender neutral, he, she, yes. Amending those provisions which, over the course of more than 2 decades of practical experience, were found to lead to administrative difficulties or were otherwise problematic. Yes. That just looking at it, it seems that they have an immense amount of authority, yes, to arrest and have imprisoned any individual in the state government right now. Now, the act to establish the office of ombudsman in King County, which I'm thinking you're a member of this, yes. Now, comment ombudsman is a distinctive from the more usual official titles. As director and commissioner and has gained recognition in the United States and other countries. The existing state statutes do not all use the title Hawaii, Nebraska, Iowa, Alaska, Arizona, Ombudsman Citizens Aid. But it should be noted that the term ombudsman, yes, is used in those states by the public, the media, and even by the incumbents who found other titles could be confused with other offices and concepts. Now, the term ombudsman, yes, should be used only when the legislative provides for an independent official who receives complaints against government agencies and who, after investigation, may, if the complaints are justified, make recommendations to remedy the complaints. If a term other than ombudsman is selected, appropriate changes must be made throughout this act. Yes. Now, let's say you're an agency. Oh, you're a department, organization, board, commission, council, bureau, administrative tribunal, facility, institution, or other governmental entity in any state of the United States. I, as a citizen, am making a video complaint at this very moment. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because I, as a citizen, yes, cannot get any person in the United States to enforce the laws. Now, you're receiving, yes, a complaint against governmental agencies, yes, that you have the evidence of, that are refusing to enforce child abuse laws, yes, kidnapping laws, conspiracy laws, hate crimes, false arrest, false police reporting, yes.